What's going on, family? Y'all back in the lab with Abrew, King David, and Lady T. Man, we got a great one going on today. We're gonna be talking about the Auburn, Alabama game, Auburn, Georgia game, also the Falcons, Buffalo Bills game. Man, you know how we do everything Georgia, man. We try to talk about it, but we're gonna start with this Auburn, Georgia game. It was an exciting game. It was up and down game at first. Of course, everybody jump out on Auburn. All Georgia at first. And we got a slow start. Somehow we got to change this start. And I don't know how to change it, but in the second half, we tend to turn things around. And I'm happy with the results, but sometime it's going to come a little bit too late like it did with Alabama. King David, man, what you think about that Auburn, Alabama game, man? Auburn, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia game.
It's a good game. Glad UGA got the win, but it was a tale of two halves. Brew, Lady T. Um, Georgia typically start off again, like you said, slow. We've done that with several teams this year, and something happens at halftime, and they come out like gangbusters. So I'm glad we was able to come back and win this one. But I agree with you, Brew. Something has to happen with these starts.
Yeah, something got to happen, bro. You know what I mean? There's no way we don't change this thing around until halftime, man. That's what got us caught up with this Alabama game. You know what I mean? We came out of the Alabama game, did we shut them out at the half? And you know, you got your obnoxious Alabama fans talking about, oh, Ty Simpson moved the ball up and down the field. He might have moved the damn ball up and down the field, but Ty Simpson didn't score at the halftime. But we gonna move on to this Auburn game, and that's what went on with this Auburn game, man. They came out, they were scoring, they was moving the ball, and I'm like, come on, Kirby, you got to come out. We got to come. We starting too slow with these guys, man. And yes, they just jumped out on us 10 points, and we end up winning 20-10. But my goodness, man, we got to do this thing. And was that? But one thing I do want to talk about, because this is the big talk of the town today. Was that a fumble, or was that a touchdown on Auburn behalf? Because Hugh Freeze and the Auburn alumni and everybody, AD and everybody, they are raising Cain, man. And we just jump in, Lady T, you jump in this conversation too, because we've been having a conversation on this. Was that a fumble, or was that a touchdown on Auburn behalf?
I saw a fumble. I don't know about you fellas, but it was clear to me that the ball came out prior to crossing the plane. So I felt like it was a fumble, but not only that, was it a fumble, but why did the refs just miss the entire, the player that picked up the ball and ran down for the UGA touchdown? How did that get missed? I'm just kind of confused. I understand we're reviewing the play, but the ball was still live. As I understand it, there was no whistle blown. So what was the deal with that?
I agree. I seen the fumble, and it should have been a touchdown. UGA. I have no clue what kind of kind of miscommunication happened there with officiating, but I agree with you, Lady T. Should have been a fumble. Should have been a touchdown for UGA.
And definitely I agree with that. Definitely that was a touchdown for UGA. But my thing was this. Well, I guess when they blew the whistle or stopped the play or whatever, they was trying to review the fumble and the fumble only. But my thing is, got to be some type of extension of that play, because that guy, the ball was out, they couldn't find the ball, and the UGA player that grabbed the ball, he was not touched by Auburn player, and he was able to run that back. So Auburn saying that they felt violated and they felt like 7 points were taken off the board. But hey, 7 points were taken off the board for us also, because that was clearly a touchdown on our behalf.
That's true.
That's right, April. I think that you got to look at it both ways. If you're going to say that you took seven off for Auburn team, then you have to say that Georgia also lost 7 points. So that should be a wash. So there should be no whining and complaining about that call, because even if the ref was wrong and it did cross the plane, like, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It could have been a lot worse, but and like I say, so these guys talking about they was bashing the SEC ref. I saw clips where the Auburn AD was down there chewing out the ref, allegedly chewing out the SEC ref, man, over this whole game. A lot of people on YouTube saying that Auburn got the short end of the stick. and I just don't believe that. You know what I mean? My thing is this: if Auburn got the short end of the stick, at the end of the day, the score is 20-10. Okay, you give them that touchdown, but you give Auburn that 7 points or six. You give Auburn that 6 points, but give us 6 points too. And so now the score is still 26-16. The hell, they still lost by 10 points. You know what I mean? So I just don't get why Auburn and Auburn coaches and Auburn AD was so upset with the referees. We got a lot of bad calls too. Now I'm hearing about, what do y'all think about, was that a clap or was that a timeout when it came to Kirby? Did anybody see it or witness it?
I didn't see that, so I'm not sure of that one.
I didn't see that either. I can see because Abreu kind of demonstrated kind of what happened, and I can see how you could potentially see a timeout as a clap, or just have a controversial call with that. So, but I didn't see it in the real time of the game.
Yeah, and I got y'all on that. So that's what I'm saying, man. And yes, we have beat Auburn 9 times. I think 9 times in a row, if I'm not mistaken. But come on, and some weird things always happen at Jordan Hare Stadium, man. You remember when they got a tip ball and they end up one of the receivers caught it and they end up beating us that way on the last play of the game. So anytime we go to Jordan Hare, I am always on edge, at least in the first half. You know what I mean? And that's what we got here. But hey, we came out victorious. I'm just truly happy with the results of this particular game here. But we have to get this thing turned around, and these slow starts are starting to catch up with us. And if we don't get this thing turned around soon, we're gonna potentially lose one or two more games, which can hurt our playoff stop. Do y'all agree with that?
It's very possible. Like I said, we've got Ole Miss coming in, so that's a tough game. So yeah, can't afford to get off to a slow start with them. They offensive minded team. So yeah, I agree. Got to start fast.
I also agree, Abreu and King David. That's just ridiculous. You got to play 4 quarters. You have to play 4 quarters. You may not dominate 4 quarters, but you should be able to get your offense moving fast. I saw several other games on Saturday where people did exactly that, and I just don't understand the momentum that's going over in Athens right now. It looks a little similar to what we've had in the past. I don't understand. I thought we had turned the page on this way of doing football where we're only playing half the game. I just don't like it. It's not exciting at all. It was miserable suffering through majority of the first half. Thank goodness we turned it around with a field goal in the second quarter to make me want to return back after halftime. Hey, I'm a diehard Georgia fan. I'm an alumni, but I just can't watch crazy, stupid football. And I just feel like that's what we were witnessing for the first half. And thank goodness, me and we had some people over to the house that was distracting me from the game, because I probably would be upset and walk out on it. I just hate stupid football, and I just think that we got to find a way to play 4 quarters. We may not dominate, but we got to show up. And I just feel like we sleep. I don't know what happens to us in night games. That's another thing. We seem to have a problem when we play these late games at night. And I don't know, we got to take a lesson from the Falcons, because something got to change with the Bulldogs. Like, we got to be better.
Absolutely agree. But could y'all see any like positives from these games? From these slow starts and us being able to come back and at least making a game. Could y'all see any positives to build from going forward?
The defense.
I can see the defense. I will say the defense, but at the same time, the defense is giving them too many points. I think it's taking us to half to figure out what they're doing. A- and that's scary. Bobo ain't getting the offense clicking. They doing these side to side bubble screens, which I hate. But it's a typical Bobo, man. He been doing that since Mark Rick. I don't understand how the hell Bobo keep getting these jobs and these prestige jobs. He was here with Mark Rick. He didn't win nothing. He went out to Colorado State. He ain't doing nothing. And Kirby, damn it, Kirby didn't bring him right back. Where's Todd Monken? Monken is up there in Baltimore struggling. So I wish he'd leave pros and come back to the dang college rank, because I'm starting to miss. I'm missing Monken bad in a mug right now. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest. Hey, but one thing I was looking at today, when we was looking at Georgia's schedule, and I wanna point something out to you all, because I don't know if y'all really paid close attention to the UGA schedule, and a lot of people probably haven't paid close attention to the UGA schedule this year. You know, every tough team we played, damn near have a bye week before we played them. Alabama had a bye week. Ole Miss they had a week, Washington, so that was pretty much a bye week. And Lane Kiffin came out and said they was already practicing for Georgia because they weren't worried about the team that they was playing on Saturday. You know, we got a bye week before we play Florida, and Texas got a bye week before we play us. So all these tough teams have bye weeks before they play Georgia. Did Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, set the dogs up? Do he hate Kirby? Do he hate Kirby? Because while these big time programs get a bye week, you get extra time to scout us before they play us. I'm a little pause on that.
Um, I think Bama and Georgia both had bye weeks. I don't think that's the case. Could be, but I don't think that's the case. And like I say, Ole Miss, they didn't really have a bye week. They had a team play, so they very could have well lost that game by not trying to overlook that team. So,
Yeah, they overlooked that team. That's what Lane Kiffin said, he was overlooking that team. But then, okay,
so they
Texas got a bye week before they play us.
okay. And maybe just work out that way. Like I say, we kind of had a bye week with Florida. Maybe just work out that way. I personally, I don't know. And maybe because they got to travel. I think last year we played Texas. We might have had a bye week before we played them, I believe. So maybe it's a travel thing. Personally, that's my personal opinion.
I think it's kind of crazy because a bye week should mean some additional rest, some time to heal from the hits or what happens in the ball game. Uh, Look, we always gonna have bye weeks, so we just got to figure out how to play our best football coming off a bye week. I mean, it's part of the game. And I just think that for us to play sloppy after a bye week, that's a trend, and that's something that the coaching staff and administration need to recognize. And then you need to change up what you're doing with all that free time. Like, I don't know what's happening. Are we partying during the bye week, or are we actually taking the time to um, put a plan together, a strategy for winning a ball game together with that extra week? I just think that we need to change up what we're doing.
I can see that. I can see that. So I had to always start conspiracy theories. Our fans hate conspiracy theories, man. Every time we put this conspiracy theory out there, they be all over us, man. In the middle of the week, like them sorry Bama fans, bro. As long as I'm a Georgia fan, Bama fans always gonna be the sorries, bro. We had 600 comments, man. I still don't like them cat. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Jackson Arnold. One thing I am seeing about these teams that we are facing with the UGA, all these quarterbacks, ever since we face your boy Aguilar, they get the ball out fast, and then they get the ball. I mean, not Aguilar, Todd Simpson. They get the ball out fast, and they throw it to the perimeter. So quick hits. And I think that's what we're gonna be facing with Lane Kiffin. Quick hits to the side, and that's quick hits to the right or left, and moving the ball down the field. And so somehow Georgia got to come out pressing early. You know what I mean? Because we're playing too much soft coverage and letting these guys get 8-9 yards a pop every catch, and that's starting to hurt us, man. That's moving the change. That keeping the defense on the field too long for the first half. Now we do make adjustments in the second half and tighten the coverage up, but we already gave up 10 to 14 points at that particular point. So that's one of the things I have seen these last few teams have done: come out quick hits to the right of the left hash, and getting out of bounds or getting 8 or 9 yards and back on the ball and doing it again, man. And they are keeping us out there on the field a little long.
Yeah, and like I said, it almost seems I'm with you, Abe, with these conspiracies. It almost seems like Kirby tried to do this on purpose, man, just to make a dramatic finish or something. Like I said, there's no reason to play a particular type of coverage that long the entire half, then come out after halftime and make an adjustment and shut the team down. So it almost seems like he want to get a little bit behind to see how resilient his team really is and build confidence that no matter how big the lead is, we can always come back and win or something. I have no clue, but yeah, if that's the strategy that um, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss use, probably a smart strategy. It's a copycat league, so if it's been working, why go away from it? Why change it? So it's be up to UGA and the coaching staff to make the adjustments earlier.
And that's true. But and then my thing is with the Lane Kiffin is ranked number 5. Ole Miss is ranked number 5, and I think Georgia still is what 9 or 10 right now. Looked at the NCAA ranking, we ranked 9 or 10. However, how the hell we Lane Kiffin them they should be? Why are they the underdogs? They got them down 3.5 points, and I'm looking at the stats. They down 3.5 points when, but I guess they got to come to Athens, so I guess that's how they probably set it up to say, well, Georgia home. We used to have a damn winning record, 33 games, so we let the sorry Roll Tide come in here and beat us. You know what I mean? And but I still don't see why why Ole Miss is the underdog, especially when they damn near higher ranked, lower ranked than us. They rank number 5.
Georgia is generally going to be better team than most teams they play week in and week out. And that's just the way it is. Brother, UGA going to be the most talented team, so regardless who we play.
Yeah, I can see that. And Lane Kiffin rely on the transfer portal a lot, and that's not the same team that he had last year. They lost a lot of pieces with that team. A lot of pieces went to the NFL. A lot of pieces just had moved on. So that team is not as nearly as good as they was last year. So I'm not worried about him. But as Lane gonna try to put up points, and he gonna be aggressive. So we get into the 4th and 1s. He gonna damn near go for them. So that defense got to be up for the challenge to get ready to stop these guys on those short yardage.
Yeah, and hopefully that no Kirby use that as motivation. That they better than us. Type. Hopefully, use some type of strategy to motivate his team when it comes to that.
And with this new setup, man, we have seen we are who we are right now. What we at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in. We are who we are. Do y'all believe in Gunner? Do y'all trust Gunner Stockton? Um, and can he go make a deep run in the playoff? I'm a little nervous with Gunner. I'm just and I'm not trying to lowball my team or undermine my team or don't have faith in my team because I'm still a dog at the end of the day. But it's just that I just don't know if Gunner can get us to that natty. I don't know if he got that Stetson dog in him to get us to the natty. I just don't see it within these 6 games. I could be wrong, and I hope Gunner prove me wrong. I hope he proved me wrong because I'm rolling with my boy Gunner to the end. But it might be we talking about Gunner, but it might be Mike Boo Boo. I ain't gonna call it Bobo. I'm calling Boo Boo. Boo Boo might be the one that hurt us. What y'all think on that?
Let you speak on it later, Chief.
I don't have a whole lot of faith. I'm just looking at the entire season so far, and I'm not seeing what I would like to see. Sure, if he can run the ball the way he did on Saturday and get a touchdown, yeah, that's a great thing. You know what I mean? That is something versatile in a quarterback to be able to run in for the touchdown. But I just don't see the quarterback that I feel like the University of Georgia deserves at this moment in time, being an elite program, being a program that's been in the top 10 consistently. I just have higher expectations, and I don't see him stepping up to that plate. Um, we said at the beginning of the season, We didn't expect for Curry to make any changes, and he hasn't. You know, what was one of the games that we had where we were blowing somebody out, and I think that might have been the week before our bye. But anyway, um, whoever that was, we know that he'll make a change, you know, if we're blowing somebody out in the last few minutes of the ball game. But that's not what I would like to see. I actually would like to see the backup quarterback to get some reps in, some real reps. You know, let's change it up, switch it up and try something just in case. But I feel like he never does that. And it makes I feel like the faith as a fan watching, you know, and you know, seeing that if he has a bad game, that we can recover from that because we don't really see any backup plans in place. Whereas some coaches make that move. So I really just don't have a lot of faith. I'm a ride with him because he's a dog, but I do feel like he's runner Stockton at this point, and he's more of a dependable runner than he is a dependable passer. So that's my take on it.
He definitely is playing like a game manager. Not sure if there's more on him or like uh, Bruce said, Bobo or Boo Boo with that game plan. I'm not sure, but yeah, we stuck with Gunn at this point. Like both of you all said that Kirby's not making a change. It's going to be Gunner this season unless an injury or something occurs. But this is who we have for the rest of this season. But yeah, he's more of a game manager, so we got to definitely run the ball better. If we won't, I'm not sure we can win a natty with him, but maybe if we have a dominant run game um, for the rest of the way, possibly, because he's just going to manage the game. Gunner just going to manage the game.
Yeah, I can see that. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to act like Gunner is trash, but in order to in order to really, I think, get to the next level, he gonna have to make some big time throws. And I think some of his decision making, I know this is first season really starting, so I'm not trying to just pile on the guy like Gunna and act like he just dog crap because I know he's not. He playing at a Power Five Division One, so I believe he's good enough to play in at this school. It's just that his throws is a little suspect to me, and those things can get us caught up because for a minute he wasn't throwing deep. He's still not throwing deep. You know what I mean? He's back to these little bubble screens, and I think that gonna get us caught up, man. When we get behind, we gonna need big chunk plays, man, and that's what scared me. Can we really, if we get behind? I'm talking about 20, 30 points. Like, remember, like last year we did with Alabama, we got down like 28 something. We end up coming back, but Beck was more accurate, even though Beck threw a lot of damn interceptions too last year, but he was really more accurate when it came to quarterback and really made some big time decisions. So I'm not for sure Gunner is at that level of where Beck were, or is still to this day, because Beck down there balling out in Miami. But that's my take. But he is a dog. Like Lady T said, he is a dog. So I'm not trying to tear Gunner down. I'm gonna ride with Gunner. I'm gonna stick with him, stick him Gunner, and I'm gonna be in your corner. I'm pulling for you. I just don't see that Stetson Bennett in this. You know what I mean? I got spoiled watching Stetson Bennett, man. You know what I mean? And that Georgia team. So I'm struggling with this Georgia team when I'm used to just shutting people out.
Well, Gunner is kind of being used like Stetson did was that first year too. It's kind of just to manage the game. We're going to run the ball. We're going to play defense. And Stetson, in that first year, he just kind of managed the game. So Gunn is kind of being used in aspect of that aspect. Now he's not as accurate as Stetson or can run as fast as Stetson, but and maybe not don't have that killer like Stetson had, but they kind of used him in that same manner.
But
I just was going to say, what do we think of Cam Newton and retiring his jersey for Auburn? He was in the stands. He looked like he was having a good time in the first half and celebrating. What y'all think about Cam Newton?
That's what you expect, I guess. He's an Auburn guy, so he went there, he won national championship with them. So why not? Hey, it's all good.
Hey, they could have retired this shit long as we came out with a W. You know what I mean? They can retire next week too. They can retire. They can triple retire damn jerseys as long as they keep losing. That's how I feel. If it means Georgia get a double, they can retire shit every year.
It didn't help them, huh? It didn't help them any.
It didn't help them, so they can
Maybe they
retire
need to,
every.
maybe they need to unretire and suit it back up.
But yeah, man, that's how it is. So, hey, man, you know we got to make our weekly predictions. How we do, man? We got Ole Miss coming in 3:30 on Saturday. Lane Kiffin, Lane already talking smack. They do got Trinidad Chambers. They all got a nice little record over there. They are ranked them. They are fifth ranked in the NCAA ranking. What are y'all looking for as this score here? With and I don't care who go first, but who what y'all think this predict this score here for Ole Miss and UGA down between the hedges?
I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think, like I said, I think Lane is an offensive minded um, coach. But I think Georgia UGA wants some get back from last year when we got dominated. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I can see 38-42. Let's say UGA 42, Ole Miss 38.
I don't know. I'm leaning toward a 24-21 dogs. Um, and I don't know why. I guess I'm just not confident that we will get started in the first half. A similar trend that we've been seeing this season. Um, and I might be underestimating Ole Miss. I haven't watched them do a lot of football, but I'm gonna go with 24-21.
I'm gonna roll with you. I'm gonna roll with you on that one, Dave. I think it's gonna be a 38 UJ. I think we go 38, but I think Ole Miss. I think it's gonna be 38-24. I really think Ole Miss gonna come out because we struggle with running quarterbacks. We do. We for some reason mobile quarterbacks give UGA bit. But I think he gonna get all his points probably in the first, probably 17 points in the first half, and we're gonna give up maybe another 7 points in the second half, but make it 24. But I think UGA gonna be victorious with this one right here, 38-24 dogs, and we gonna hopefully we'll keep winning, man, and start that home winning streak all over again. And then we'll go into a bye week and get ready for Florida, man. And they ain't looking too good. So do for one last thing before we end this segment with the UGA. How long y'all think Hugh Freeze got with Auburn? You think he's on the hot seat yet?
I don't think he's on the hot seat yet. I think he's still okay.
I think he can't beat Bama. He can't beat Georgia. He can't beat the top tier Power Five teams that could get him over the edge. And that's what they really bought him in for. But be honest with you, he wasn't a top tier coach to me when he was in the SEC. I think he was at Mississippi State. Then he went to Liberty after he got caught up in that scandal. Then they brought him back. To Auburn after he kind of cleaned up his record a little bit. So we're gonna see. I might give him 1 or 2 more years and they're gonna try to move on. But from Hugh Freezer, he can't get past these top schools. But as for Cam Newton, I hope they retire his jersey again next year, man. And I'm gonna leave it right there, man. Then we're gonna move on to these Falcons, unless y'all got anything to add to this NCAA, man.
Just
No,
the
I'm
go
good.
dogs for the Ole Miss game. Looking forward to a good game. So I hope to enjoy some good football.
All right, then. Hey, we're gonna move on. So last night, Monday Night Football, I told y'all, them Falcons show up on prime time, man. I don't know what it is about Falcons, man. They like 81 on prime time games since 2015. They are spectacular in prime time games, man. And now this team last night came in who and dominated. I know people gonna be like, they didn't dominate, but to me, they dominated a potential Super Bowl contender this year in the Buffalo Bills because they had Josh Allen, who was a MVP of last year. And we went in and we had Josh on the ropes for a minute. Yeah, he had some great plays, man, but I must admit the Falcons had a great game plan on offense. They had a great game plan on defense. And they look good, man. I was really impressed with the Falcons last night. How did y'all think about the Falcons, man? What do y'all think they did?
I was really impressed with what I seen last night. Like, they did dominate. Whoever said they didn't dominate didn't watch that game. They dominated. Josh Allen was looking like he was lost the entire game. He made a few throws, but uh, it didn't matter because they was sacking him. They was pressuring him. These young dogs we brought in this year with Walker, I think he led with pressures last night. So yeah, man, this team is I'm really impressed with this defense. Offense was good first half, then obviously they went super conservative in the second half. So Zach Robinson got some things to work on, obviously, but that defense it looked very stout, and I can kind of hang my hat on that defense right now.
Do you think are you starting to believe in you Upper? What his name is? Jeff Up you bright? Are you
Yeah,
starting
Brick.
believing in? Mhm.
I'm believing in Brick, man. It's one thing to do it, like I said, against Minnesota and that young quarterback. It's another thing to do it against the Buffalo Bill and Josh Allen, who, like you say, is a MVP from a reigning MVP, and
Mhm.
they are Super Bowl contending. And to dominate him and confuse him all night, you get two picks from him, you get four sacks. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm impressed. I'm believing in Brick right now, and what he got cooking.
And go ahead, you Jeff. You brick. I mean, not you brick, but
Over.
uh, Josh Allen only had 180 yards. So for a MVP caliber quarterback, 180 yards, we did our thing on him. I'm gonna let Lady T chime in though.
Yeah, what I saw with Josh Allen, because this is my quarterback on my fantasy league. So I was watching him very closely. I was pulling for the Falcons, but I was like, can he just at least throw for a first down? That would have helped me out with my points. I mean, I ended up winning. So he did good enough to get me the W, but still Josh Allen, I felt like early on in the game, maybe even maybe the end of the first quarter, he had some kind of a play where I felt like he hurt his left hand, which was interesting because I watched him and I was like, oh, he's a right-handed quarterback. But it was kind of like at that point, they just started the run. They just continued to run and run and run. And he really didn't throw a whole lot, except for like when they were like maybe on the third down or something, then he would throw. And then we watched that consistently until at some point in the second half, it seemed like he threw a little bit more, but it wasn't that accurate. So I was a little disappointed in Josh Allen. I'm glad he disappointed me to the Falcons' benefit to win that game, but I did feel like something was going on because I didn't get as many points as I would plan for my fantasy league. So he let me down a little bit, but he let he ensured his style of play ensured that my Falcons won. So I was happy with that.
It, like I said when we was talking earlier before this game started, I was hoping Josh Allen throw for 500 yards, but he had no touchdowns. I don't care if he threw all. I don't care if he threw 500 yards the whole game, but he had zero touchdowns. So I didn't care. As long as my Falcons win, man, that's what I was pulling for, man. You know what I mean? Now, one thing I did notice, that boy James Cook, man, he's a dog. He's a UGA alumni. That boy was running hard last night. He was averaging 5.1 yards a carry, bro. When he hit that hole, and James Cook ain't a big cat, but when he hit that hole, bro, he was hitting that hole hard, man. So I was thoroughly impressed with James Cook last night, man. And he had 17 carries for 87 yards, man. He almost broke 13 yards from the hundo. But he ain't like my boy Bijan. And we're going to get into Bijan in a minute. I'm just trying to get James Cook a little love because, see, when I get into Bijan and Drake and Penix, it's going to be over for the show. I ain't coming back to the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? because we did our thing last night. Y'all, man, I was so happy with them boys, man. I think we got a core now. I don't know how the heck we gonna keep these boys and got to pay about them about another 2 to 3 years. But right now, I'm loving what I see. So I hope Raheem can really and yes. I'm back on the Raheem train. You know, I wanted to fire that cat about 3 games ago. And so I'm back on the Raheem train. And y'all know I done got past my 5 games. You know, I told him I was gonna give him 1 quarter. So after last night, I'm kind of so we're gonna give him about 5 more games and see what these boys doing. But like I say, I'm glad they held them boys down to 14 points. And James Cook did his thing. He's alumni, so I'll give him props. But we're going to move on to Michael Penix, Drake London, and my man B. John Robinson, who is the Falcon Mr. Everything. We got to keep him healthy and happy. What y'all think about that? B. John.
Special. The guy is special, man. Is he the best player in the NFL? Brew, Lady T?
I'm gonna vote. If he ain't the best, he got to be like on the heels of the best. I'm with you. I'm kind of speechless. Incredible was the word I was thinking when you said that, King David. He had a stellar performance. And at the very end, I know it seemed like he had maybe, uh, got roughed up on a play or something. And so they took him out. And I know, the fans was like, put him back in, put him back in. But I just felt like at that point he deserved a rest because he played his ass off. And I thought it was a great game for Bijan.
And you know that thing, man. He's that guy. He's a superstar with these numbers. There's only one other running back that got over 450 yards rushing and over 300 yards carrying at this point in the season, and that was Thurman Thomas, who was a running back in the 90s for the Buffalo Bills. At this particular point, if Bijan can keep this pace here, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know they always give the MVP to quarterbacks a lot of times, but this dude will be in the running for the MVP with the style of play that he have. He could catch. He made some big catches last night and he took some big hits at one point. I was like, dang, Bijan, he really hit Bijan, but had 170 yards on 19 carries and 68 yards receiving on 6 carries. Man, this dude is a superstar for him. And I don't know how much they gonna have to, but I don't know how much Blank gonna have to back the truck up when his contract is due. But hey, he gonna have to pay B, bro. He gonna have to pay. Hey, we might all have to take a GoFundMe account for Bijan, man, because that we gotta keep him, man. That cat is an all-star, bro. That cat is a perennial Pro Bowler, and he's doing his thing, man. And I was impressed last night with these 3 young guys, man. I really was. Even Drake London.
Oh yeah, they played their butts off. Yeah, I don't know if it's enough money in the Brinks truck, brother. He gonna take him to the bank himself. But yeah, Bijan gonna get paid, brother. But yeah, in my opinion, he's definitely the best player in football. He's that special,
Yeah.
and he's not a little dude. He's a big dude. I know you said he took some big hits last night, but he delivered some too. Because one on the blocking play when he hit Ed Oliver, which is a DT, he put him on his butt.
Oh yeah, he put Big Ed on his ass, bro. You know, Ed be down there in Texas. Ed got a big ranch in Texas. Well, he out there with them bulls and cows and stuff. And he put Big Ed down, bro. So I was like, God, leave Bijan. You know what I mean? Hey, Bijan, boy, that boy special, man. You know what? I might have to go get me a Bijan jersey, man. I got a Michael Penix jersey, man. I might have to go get a Bijan jersey, man. Before the price go up too high, man. I'm gonna have to talk to the wife and see if I can go get me a Bijan, man. But last night, man, Michael Penix had 20 for 32, 250 yards, man, 1 TD. He's doing his thing. Bijan did his thing. Tyler Algier, 10 for 32. Now, that one play with Tyler Algier, man, where he ran Buddy over. Oh, that was sweet. Lady T,
Almost got a
did you see that when he ran him over in the end zone?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, another good performance. But we were having a discussion about the running backs and we were comparing them to each other. And Brew, you said you thought that we might arrive at a point to where we have to let one of them go. So, you want to elaborate a little bit on that for the show?
Yeah, I think me and King David was talking about Tyler Algier contract is I think coming up at the end of the season, and if they pay Tyler Algier, Bijan got drafted the very next year. They ain't gonna have the capital, or they could put us in salary cap hell to where we potentially won't sign Bijan to the max contract he gonna probably demand. So I think this is my thing, and much as it pains me to say this, I think we might have to let Algier go because if I'm Algier, I like the Falcons, but I don't see taking a hometown pay cut. Unless he just really want to be here. But by this is his second contract, man. He got to get paid. This is a contract where he can retire mom. So he got to go and get the dollars, everything he could possibly get. What you think about that, King David?
Yeah, as years gone, you're gonna sign Bijan. He's the special one. It's easier to find another player that does what Algier does, to the sense of running hard, power back. You're rarely gonna find that in a Bijan. Bijan is so special. They don't come around very often. So it's easier to find a power back. So Algier is gonna be going unless, like I say, you just want a hometown discount. But I would encourage him to move on and get paid.
Exactly, man. And then we got Drake London coming up. I think him and Algier. I think Drake contract. Well, Drake is a first round pick, so they can fifth year option him. You know what I mean? So they can hold him over. If they do that, hell, oh man, we could be a cap hell if they start franchising in fifth year option. I think they should just try to get these guys signed as early to extensions as possible, man. Because Drake is coming up, Algier is coming up, Bijan is right behind them, and right now we got Penix who's in his second year, and we got him for another 3 years. So I think they need to go ahead and get ahead of this money thing, man, because if they want to keep this young core together much as possible.
Oh yeah, you're gonna keep your core. Penix, Bijan, and Drake isn't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere.
Exactly. So, but now with the Falcons, man, are we on the horizon? Let me say it. How we played last night, and I want to get your opinion, King David, and Lady T opinion. How we played last night. That's what made me mad about not letting these guys play in the preseason, man. Now I'm starting to see rare form. Now I'm starting to see these guys clicking. And even though I still think Penix makes some minor mistakes on some of his throws and some of his decisions, but we needed these guys in the preseason so they can start gelling, man. And now I'm starting to see these guys catch a fire because losing 2 games in the division to Tampa Bay and Carolina could come back to bite us in the end. Because if you look at it, Carolina beat Dallas the other day. Now Carolina look like they humming, man. In Tampa, we know what Tampa done. Tampa is humming. They talking about Baker Mayfield pops the MVP. So can these 2 games come back and hurt us because we didn't play in the preseason? What y'all think?
It's very possible. Now the Carolina game was a few games past. Uh, we had been playing a few games, so they should have been prime when they played Carolina. Ready because we had just beat Minnesota. So the Carolina game, I don't think nothing to do with the preseason. That was just I don't know, a fluke game or something. I have no clue. But yeah, the Tampa game, I believe, was a preseason issue. So, but yeah, those 2 games could come back to bite us. Hopefully not. I know we got some NFC games coming up with not 49ers in Seattle. And if we win those games, we should kind of win out, hopefully, that playoff spot with them. Because it looked like Tampa going to win our division at this point.
Yeah, and I can see that. So, but we got a shot. Tampa, I think, is 5-1 right now. We are actually we right on the heels though, man. If we beat Tampa and went out, we right there because we 3-2. So we beat Tampa, and Tampa hit a skid or two, and we can beat Carolina and beat, you know what I mean, and Tampa can just make, because who Tampa, I don't forgot who Tampa lost to. Let me pull that up because I want to see who Tampa Bay lost to, man. and see if that game would really. Oh, Tampa lost to the Eagles. So yeah, they lost to the Eagles, which is who was in the NFC. Yeah, I know they're not in our division, but they are in the conference. So it depends on it depends on how that thing go. You know what I mean? How it fall. But right now they all look like they gonna win the division.
Yeah, and I just wanted to come back and chime in on uh, like I do believe that there was an impact. There was definitely an impact when you don't play your starters like that. And so, of course, that first game we lost. And so you're still in the preseason mode because you're just waking up your starters and letting them play in a live environment. The preseason, the fans and the stadium is not the same as it is in the real season, but you might as well start moving in that direction after having a break. So I definitely think that there was a impact there. So wanted to kind of chime in on that while you going at it, Abru.
Yeah. So go ahead. You got to go ahead and finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I was saying, man, is so right now, I think we still got a chance, man. If Tampa can have a couple hiccups, but right now they are playing some great ball. Right now, I think we coming over the 49ers. We got another primetime game next week. It's an 8:20 p.m. game, which, like I say, the Falcons just they shine at night, man. So I think even though we'll be on the West Coast, we'll be in California. I just think that these guys gonna go out there and do their thing out there in California, man, and 8:20 p.m. So I think Bijan and Drake and Penix, we gonna go out there and do our thing, and I think we're gonna put Mac Jones or Purdy, whichever quarterback playing, because I think Mac Jones had a little injury in this last game. So whoever gonna play, I think the defense gonna get at them, bro. Be honest with you.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a chess match. You talking about two teams, coaches that know each other well. Raheem Shanahan, they was on the same staff together here in Atlanta, so they know each other well. So it's going to be a chess match. But yeah, hopefully we are prepared and continue to do what we've been doing these last few couple weeks.
So with that said, man, it's time for prediction time. What's your prediction on this Falcon 49ers game at 8:20 next Sunday, 8 p.m. King David?
Wow. The Falcons look like they averaging around, like I said, at 24. So I would say Falcons 27, Niners 24.
I like King David's score. So I'm gonna second that score because I think I was kind of thinking in the 20s as well for both teams. So I'm gonna go with King David on that one.
All right, I got y'all. I tell you what, I'm gonna go bold, man. I think the Falcons are gonna show out this time around, man. I think I'm going 31-17 Falcons, man. I really think we're gonna go into Levi Stadium. I think we're gonna weigh these boys out 31-17. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But right now, I think the Falcons are starting to crank up. I think the offense is starting to click, but mostly the defense is moving around, flying around. And we are all getting some sacks. We're getting some pressure. And Mac Jones, Purdy, whoever going to be behind center, going to have a long day with that young defense coming. So that's my prediction, man. Anything else y'all want to add before we close this show out today?
Yeah, I enjoyed the Buffalo wings we just recently had. So had my fill of them. So now let's go out there and take care of this West Coast trip for the Falcons. And the same with the Dogs. Let's take care of Ole Miss. Let's have another great week of sports in the state of Georgia.
Yes, I'm gonna agree with that, and I'm also gonna come around and I'm gonna say, April, you better go ahead and get that Bijan jersey before he gets some sort of MVP title or leads the Falcons into a Super Bowl or something like that. I'm gonna recommend you go ahead and pay for that jersey though. Go Falcons.
Yeah, I might have to put that Falcons. I might have to put that Bijan jersey on layaway. I think they'll take $20 a week, man. I think they'll take $20 a week for me. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Yes, we had a great week. You know what, King David, Lady T, we didn't have to throw no challenge flag or no unnecessary roughness today. So when we got those type of games going, those type of talk shows, it was a great week for us Georgia sports. Now it's gonna be a battle coming to the end, especially when that Georgia Tech and UGA gotta play. Even though we dogs over here, but we're gonna have to talk about it because Tech is 6-0 and they rank like 13. So I think that leading up to be a good old fashioned clean 8. That's gonna be a pre-show and a post-show with that one. But with that said, y'all, hey, we out until next time, man. Sunday 8:30. Unnecessary roughness. King David, Lady T, A Brew. Until next time. Later.